Hello fellow brawlers, I'm KairosTime and it is time to brawl, and it's also time for some sweet brawl news. Whispers of an update are making their way around the brawler net, and it is time to talk about the facts. Fact number 1. The average number of days between updates since Brawl Stars was released globally is 36 days. Fact number 2. The longest we've had to wait for an update that did not include the summer month that Supercell took off is 47 days. Fact number 3. It has been exactly 47 days since the last Brawl Stars update. You do the math, it's about time. Fact number 4. If you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, I'll be giving you guys a sneak peek as soon as the next update happens or released as soon as Supercell lets me. Fact number 5. If you use code Kairos in the Brawl Stars shop, your legendary chances will increase. I'm just kidding. That is not a fact. They won't increase if you use code Kairos, but it will support the future development of future videos on this channel, including Brawl News. Okay guys, it has been a long time since the last Brawl Stars update, and I've actually uncovered enough actual news that I felt like it was about time for me to share it all with you, as well as talk about some things that I think we will be getting in the Brawl Stars update. Let's start off with when is Brawl Talk? The fact is that this is the longest we've had to wait for a Brawl Stars update, once again, aside from the summer update when we knew that Supercell was going to be taking a month off for development, okay? Now that tells me two things. The first is that it's probably going to happen soon, okay? Out of the last 5 Brawl Talks, 4 of them happened on either a Saturday or a Sunday. So I think that there's actually a really good chance that we're going to be seeing Brawl Talk this weekend. Don't quote me on that unless it actually happens, then you can quote me on that. There's a chance that it will happen sooner or even later as well. Like I said, one of the past 5 Brawl Talks actually happened in the middle of the week, so I suppose it could happen at any time, though Supercell's past behavior would really suggest that we'll see Brawl Talk on a weekend. This weekend, and if not this weekend, definitely next weekend. Definitely, maybe at least. Now, the second thing that this tells me is that there is a very good chance that this update is going to be big. In fact, I think that's a pretty sure thing, okay? Not only is the Brawl Stars team taking a long time to develop this update, but Frank, the team lead for Brawl Stars, has hinted toward this being a pretty awesome update. Now, on February 26th, he tweeted out saying that it was a really great week at work and that he could not believe all of the awesome stuff that the team is coming up with all the time, okay? He ended it by saying that 2020 is going to be wild. Now, after that, someone asked Frank to rate it out of 10, and he responded with 11. Now, technically, he was referring to Brawl Stars in 2020 and not this next update specifically, but I think it's fair to say that this update is obviously included in 2020 because we are in 2020. Later on, Frank was asked a question regarding updates, and while he couldn't give any details, he did make it clear that the plan is not to release less content. Okay, now reading between the lines, it's pretty clear to say that their goal is to release more content with each update. So let's talk about what we know is coming in this big update. We know that Darryl's getting a remodel with this update, okay? In the Brawl Stars Championship March Finals, we actually got to look at Darryl. I don't know, I don't think that this was intentional, but we actually got to see Darryl's remodel, what it's gonna look like after this next update. Here is a side-by-side comparison of the current model and what the new model will look like. You'll notice a few differences, and I mean, the clarity on this picture isn't necessarily the best, but he's gonna be coming with the profile icon change as well. And I've seen a few people say that they don't like the change, but I personally really love it, okay? I don't know, but I'm gonna have to wait until, you know, Brawl Stars actually gives me the developer build and I'm allowed to give you sneak peeks before I can give any final thoughts on it. I also think there's a really good chance that we'll be getting a Darryl Skin as well. Not surprised after he's getting his remodel. Also, Dumpling Darryl's probably gonna get remodeled as well. My guess is a sheep Darryl Skin. Now, this is a tweet that Brawl Stars sent out yesterday. It's Penny inviting Ems to a party at Darryl's sheep, which she corrects to ship. Now, this could just be Penny making a typo and, you know, Brawl Stars are just making a joke about people making typos and stuff. But I could also see a fluffy sheep skin for Darryl, right? That could be funny. You see Darryl bouncing around with a bunch of sheep wool or something like that. I don't know. Maybe that's not the biggest hint, but it's just an idea. But in that same championship where Darryl's remodel was leaked, we saw a fancier looking Pam as well. Is Pam finally getting the love that we're hoping for? Huh? Pam Remodel? No. She's not. Someone asked Frank about this and he said that Pam will be getting a remodel, but this is not it. Now, we know that Pam has been on the list for remodels for a long time, but does that mean that it's going to happen this update? Frank didn't specify when this is going to happen, only that it will happen, which he's already specified. So we can't say for sure, but I hope for a Pam Remodel this update. It's been so long. So then what about Crowe or Jesse or Penny? Okay, they're the other brawlers that are confirmed to get some sort of changes made to their models in the future. Now this is only speculation, but Frank did let us know that his least favorite skin in the game currently is White Crowe. Is that personal preference or a possible hint that Crowe's getting a remodel, right? And some of his skins are getting changed as well. Just a matter of time before we find out, guys. Okay, now if you haven't caught on to this already, I like to call this next segment on this video I stalked Frank on Twitter too much. We know that 5 of the current Brawl Ball maps are going to be replaced by these maps right here. And for the time being, Center Stage, Sunny Soccer, Course, Power Shot, and Slalom Slam are going to fall out of rotation. We know that the arcade environment is going to be coming back in some gem grab maps. We know that we're getting at least one new brawler this update, and that it is Frank's favorite brawler to play, which is awesome. Now we don't know a whole lot about this brawler, but we do know that it is not going to be a Homer brawler that people have been speculated on because they've been looking in the game files, right? Frank actually let us know that the Homer brawler that some data miners found was actually a potential B prototype that they haven't just removed from the files. We also know that there currently are not any plans to add further Trophy Road brawlers, and there are not any plans to extend the Trophy Road for right now. So the newest brawler is not going to be a Trophy Road brawler, and if I were to guess, it's not going to be a mythic or an epic brawler either, since epics and mythics have more brawlers than any of the other rarities. So chances are it's going to be a rare brawler, a super rare brawler, or a legendary brawler. So we're either going hard to unlock or super easy to unlock. I don't know. Okay, now I've got an idea. Okay, we know that Brawl Stars tends to have these trios of brawlers of 3 that are all kind of grouped together. And we also know that we only have Carl and Dynamite in the minor trio. I do not know if Supercell would be willing to like let the Brawl universe and the Clash universe collide outside of just skins, but I think it would be super cool if the Golem from Clash of Clans became a brawler in Brawl Stars. Here's a concept art piece created by FreeFGP that I actually had him make for me like 4 months ago. I think it would just make so much sense for them to release some sort of a gem golem that could like throw rocks to complete that trio or something like that. Now this is only speculation, very clear about this. This is speculation, although I would love to see some combinations between the Brawl Stars universe and like the Clash universe. I just feel like that'd be so cool. Okay, now I want to do a little speculating regarding what is going to be coming in this update. What is going to be so big that Frank is going to rate it out of an 11, right? And I'm talking about stuff other than the obvious, like, you know, new skins, new brawlers. We already know that we're going to be getting new skins and new brawlers. That happens every update. I'm talking about actual changes that will change Brawl Stars forever. Though, I will quickly say that I think there's a good chance that we're going to be getting either Horus Bow or Demonic Bow or both of these bow skins, since they did win the Supercell Make competition. And we know they're going to come into the game, just a matter of when. Now, for these speculations, I'm going to be looking at the 3 major issues that are a concern if Brawl Stars does not do something to fix them sometime this year. I already did an entire video talking about them in depth, but let me give you a quick recap of what they are. First, issue number 1 is a social reason to continue to play Brawl Stars. I'm talking about improvements to clubs and possibly club wars. We already know that this is an issue that is not going to be addressed in this upcoming update because Frank let us know that while they are planning on improving clubs, their goal is to do some other things first. The second issue in Brawl Stars is endgame staleness. I'm talking about the lack of strategic depth at the end game and a lack of end game content to maintain people's interest for years at a time, which is Supercell's goal in making games. I've previously talked about brawlers getting a new level 11 ability that can be activated with the press of a button, and while I do hope that we see a new ability for every brawler sometime this year, I don't expect to see that until later in 2020, probably like right before summer or like right after summer is kind of what I'm thinking. Instead, what I think is more likely is some sort of a way to create and play custom maps in game. Now, this idea isn't completely my own. I want to give credit to Lex, who recently did a video talking about why there's a good chance that this is coming in the next update. Let me add on to the reasons that Lex talked about and talk about why I think this is likely. Okay, some of you guys might recall the Mortius's competition to create new Brawl Ball maps that would come into the game. The Mortius is the creator of Brawlcraft, a tool that allows you to create maps. But The cool thing is after you've created a map, you can also go and play inside the map to test things out. The gameplay isn't a perfect replica of what it's like to play in Brawl Stars, but it's close enough to give you a good feel for what the map might actually feel like in game. This is significant because it's very clear that the Mortius is already in contact with Brawl Stars in order for them to organize this collaboration, which makes me think that there is a good chance that they might be collaborating on a way to create an in-game map maker, or at least a way for maps made on Brawlcraft to be ported into Brawl Stars. I've already talked about why this feature would be cool on other videos, so I'm not going to cover it, but this recent collaboration between the Mortius and Supercell, along with the things that Lex talked about in his video, really got me thinking that now is a great time for us to see this implemented. I don't think this would completely solve the lack of strategic depth at endgame for Brawl Stars, but it would certainly be a great way to improve things so that Supercell could buy themselves more time to work on new abilities. The third issue I'm talking about in Brawl Stars is lack of monetization. I'm talking about there not really being a market for whales in Brawl Stars, and Brawl Stars falling on the grossing charts when compared to other Supercell games. Because of this, I think there's a good chance that we'll start seeing some more like chat emotes, possibly some more winning and losing animations or things like that that would be purchasable with gems or with, you know, star points or other in-game, or like maybe some type of brawl pass or something like that. I've already talked about this in other videos, so I'm not going to go into depth, but you guys get the idea. Okay, enough about update stuff. Let's cover some other Brawl news. Over 300,000 Koala skins have been unlocked, which translates to $1.5 million donated to helping support Australia after the wildfires. And there's still almost an entire other month before the fundraiser is done, which is really cool. In other news, more Brawl Stars merch is starting to see the light of day as Nendoroid releases a Spike figurine. Now, by the time you're watching this, it's probably too late for you to order because of such a short stock, but hopefully this leads to more Brawl Stars merch in the future. Do you guys like Brawl merch? I love Brawl merch. I need more of it. In other news, Brawl Stars' esports scene is off to a great start in 2020. Millions of viewers watch the March finals, and there are even more chances to qualify every month with the 15-win challenges, one of them happening this weekend. We still don't know where the 2020 World Finals is going to happen, but I'm sure that it's going to be somewhere amazing. Make sure you guys subscribe for more Brawl Stars news as soon as I'm able to give it to you. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and for now, this is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in Brawl Stars.